Hello and welcome back. So let's add an interface to add for adding over a single row for the slider. So let me go to the database and let's see what columns we actually need. So I'm going to go to slider images just to confirm. So we need the header text 1, header text 2, then the message itself. Okay, so let's come back here and see how that can be done. So we're in the settings.php view. So this is adding new row right there. So let me just put a title here, just so we know exactly where we are, right? Add new row, like that. And then I'm just going to add a form here. Okay, now we have this table down here, and then there's another form right there. Okay, so this form starts from here. So now it means, because the way forms are, if you add a form within a form, then one of them will not work, but the other one will work. Now the advantage of this form is that it doesn't have an action where it's going. So any time we post, it's just going to refresh on the same page. So I don't have any quarrels with that. I think I can let it be. So instead of putting a form here, I can just add a div instead. So this div, I'll give it a class. Since we have Bootstrap here, I'm just going to give it a class of form group. And then here I will add a label. This label will be header text 1, or is it header 1 text? Something like so. And then inside this label, I'm just going to add an input, and this input will be of type text. I want to give it a name of, let me see, I want to match the table, header 1 text. Hopefully that's how it's written, header 1 text. Okay, great. And then I want a placeholder. I don't know if that's needed. Let me see first. But let me add a class here of form control. Okay, so let's see what we have so far, if it's looking good or not. Okay, there we go. Header 1 text. Wait a minute. See, this is a problem when you are not very good with Bootstrap. Okay, I'll add actual styles, no problem. Let me try to put this outside the label for a second. Let me see what that does. Outside the label. And let's refresh. Okay, that kinda looks much better. And then what I will do is, let me add a 4 there and give this guy an ID. Let's see, ID of, let's use header text 1, shall we? Since it's already the name that's there. And then we'll do the same thing here, header text 1. Let's see how things change there. I guess not so much. It's okay. No big deal. And this one, since it's the first item, I'm just going to say auto focus. Yeah, auto focus, like so. Okay, pretty good. Back here, let me do this, delete there. So let's duplicate this a couple of times, huh? So this one, I'm just going to change these to 2. So like that, 2. header to text. And then here we're going to say main message. Main message, like so. All right, then instead of this header text here, I'm going to duplicate there, and I think the column is called text, isn't it? Yes. But then for the text column, I think it must be a little bit bigger for the main message. So I don't know here. Maybe I should use a text area. Let's try that, shall we? And let's give it a class of form control as well. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that's definitely much better. So I shall remove this guy. I will simply maintain the ID here, ID, and then I will also maintain what else I want. I don't need autofocus on these guys, so out of here, out of here. I think that does it. Back here, refresh. Okay, so we have the header text, the main message, and then what's more important, there's a link, and then there's an image. Yeah, we'll leave the others as they are for now. Let's just do those two. So the link, I'm going to copy the text version here. And then finally, one last thing, but this one we will add an input of file. So there we go. Type file, and the name, let's name it image, since it's image 1. Image, I don't know, we can call it slider image. Okay, so what can I get from here? I can get the class of form control. Then I can get the name. Oh no, the ID. ID is equal to image, like so, for image. This one is for the link. I don't know, content link, something like that. And let me change those to link. We are getting somewhere. What else, what else, what else? Let's remove this input by the end here, like that. And image for image, ID image. Okay, let's see what we've got. And there we go. Right, pretty awesome. So slider image, content link, main message, header 2 text, header 1 text. Okay, pretty awesome. So let me come back here now to my admin controller. Right here, if a new row was posted, all I need to do for now is just do show what was posted. Yes, like so. Okie dokie. Now I don't want this to redirect, so I'm going to remove that. Okay, so let's refresh now. And oh, we need a submit button. How can I forget that? So back to settings, and right here I'm going to add a button. Input, type, submit, and we don't need a name, we need a value of add, And let's add a class of form control, maybe. I don't know if no, actually that one should be a button. So the class, actually, let me see how that would look like. I've always wondered. Oh, of course. So this one will be button and button primary. Okay. Refresh. All right, so there we go. Add. If you wanted to move to the other side, you can add the pull right class, but I think we are good here. So if I click add, it actually does post, and then we get to this point. Wait, what did I see there for a second? Right, so it's showing me the data that was posted, and since the data is empty, let's go back to the slider and see what we've got here. So let's try and add some header text here. So I'm going to add the first one as eShop, like that, and then the header 2, let's see, 100% responsive design. I don't know, we can say something like awesome food. And then here, main message, right? Main message. This is some pretty awesome food. No kidding. Try it and tell me what you think. Okay, so of course you can write anything here, and then the content link. Now this is the thing here. If I go to, so I want to show this burger, so I want when somebody clicks on that slider, it goes to this burger. So let me click there on the burger. This is the view for the burger, so I'm going to get the entire link here, copy that, copy, and put it here. Now on the link here, there should be an example. For example, where is this placeholder, right? I'm just going to say e.g. http / and then your website.com / your products, like so. So you don't need the www to still work, so that's okay. So that's what we need here. If I put a link there, it needs to have HTTP, so it already does, so this is good. And then now I need to browse for an image, right? So browse for an image. Of course, the image will be the burger, so load that. Oh, sorry about this. I forgot one thing. For us to be able to load images, on the form here, we have to change the encoding type. So enc type should be equal to multipart / form data, like that. Okay, pretty good. So now let's click add. Okay, so now we have some information here, which is pretty good. Now, as you can see, there's image there. That's because the thing didn't work well here. We are not supposed to see this image here. It's supposed to be in the files category. So let me refresh the page, hopefully to disappear from there. Resend, and it's not disappearing. Let's try again. Oh, that's because I'm refreshing. Okay, now in the interest of not trying to lose my data, because if I just refresh the page here, I'm going to lose everything I typed here. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to put a mechanism here to return my data here if it exists. So that's going to be great. So let me come back here for a second. Where is this add? Right there. So now the thing is, because there's so many settings, this page could go on for days. It can be very, very long page. So if you get to a point where the page is way too long, you can change the strategy to read from a different function instead of settings. That way you can load a different view. And also, not only that, it's very possible that because we have all these if statements here, we don't necessarily need to load this view for every scenario here. We can simply remove this view here and only show it at a particular time, and then here we can change what to show. Like for example, if type is equal to slider images, I can add a different view here because I know this won't show. That way, if the information gets too much here, too much typing, too many if statements and all that, you can separate these into separate files. Like when somebody's adding something, it's a separate file, etc., etc. Usually those things lead to better debugging in the long run. So when your file becomes too much, separate the content into smaller files. Okay, so what was I about to do here? Just a second. Yes, what I'm looking for is to be able to, when I refresh, I still get my data in here, so I don't have to type it again. So looking at the length of a video, I think we are going to do that in the next one.